Hi everyone, it's Will. Now, if you're feeling behind, uncertain about your future, comparing yourself to others, or struggling to figure out your next step, here are two quotes to help you navigate your 20s. Quote number one by James Clear: complaining about not achieving success despite working hard is like complaining about an ice cube not melting when you heated it from 25 to 31 degrees. Your effort was not wasted, it is just being stored. All the action happens at 32 degrees. This is one of my favorite metaphors out there because it can be so easy to get into this mindset when you're starting your career that you should be seeing effort results, effort results, effort results, effort results. And if we're working hard and we're not seeing that immediate progress, we can start to wonder whether what we are doing is even working. When really it may just be a matter of just staying in the fight long enough to reach that melting point, to reach that 32-degree threshold. And funny little side note is when I was establishing a DBA for my business when I was really early on, the name of it was the 32-degree threshold as a reminder for me as I'm starting out my own business to recognize that even in those moments where I'm working hard and I might not see those external results, is to remember that that 32 degrees will come to me. It might not come right now, but if you keep putting in the effort, it will. So that was important for me, but also what I have noticed in my own life is that the more attached I become to a timeline for achieving something, the more pressure I put on myself. And if I do not reach it by that particular date, I can start questioning whether I'm on the right path, even when I may actually be making progress. Now, if you've experienced something similar, I would still encourage you 100% to set goals, have deadlines that you are working towards, because deadlines are so crucial because they give us something to aim for. But just don't let a missed deadline convince you that the work was wasted or that you are on the wrong path. The next time, actually, one other thing I would like to mention there is that it is important to recognize, though, when it's necessary to pivot. And that's something that I have to remind myself of too. Is when are the moments where I need to continuously be doing the same things, putting in that effort, and it's just a matter of it taking a little bit longer, versus when am I working on the wrong things and I need to pivot a little bit. So getting a better understanding of that is also very important moving forward. But the commonality in them both is that you're still working towards your goal. Now, again, the next time that you feel frustrated because you have not reached that goal by the date that you had in mind, take a step back, ask yourself, am I actually off track or am I simply not seeing the results yet? Because sometimes, again, you're closer to that melting point than you realize. Now, quick note, as someone who's 24 years old, I think one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people in this stage of life is trying to navigate everything on their own. So having people around you to push you to stay consistent, think bigger, and continue growing can make a huge difference, especially during periods of uncertainty or transition. And that's a big reason why communities like the 20s Mentorship Roadmap school group can be so valuable. So if you're looking for more accountability, more support, and a group focused on career growth, relationships, and personal development, you can check out more about this free community in my bio, and I also mention it in the description below. Now, quote number two: clarity comes from engagement, not thought, by Marie Forleo. So this is a very important idea for me as well, and I'm just giving you a few brief quotes for today, a short little video, but I think we always have this mindset that we need to have everything perfect before we start. But what she is referring to is letting go of the feeling of the need to be perfect before starting. You get clearer on things by acting as opposed to spending time just thinking endlessly about it. It can be so easy to get caught in the trap of analysis paralysis, and sometimes we might be doing endless research and thinking about making a decision, and the preparation for that can disguise itself as action when really it's just delaying out of fear. So it can be sneaky because when we're researching and creating pros and cons lists, it seems as though it's more productive than just sitting and watching TV and not doing anything to move the ball forward. But if we still find ourselves weeks later having to continuously reevaluate, it actually might not be too much different than just sitting and watching TV. Now, an example that I've heard in the past is the idea of driving a car at night. This is not my example, but what was mentioned is that your headlights only let you see a couple hundred feet in front of you. But that's enough to get you all the way across the country. You don't need to see the entire route before you start driving. And I think that's a great parallel to the idea of not feeling the need to be perfect before starting. And one of the things when I talk with people who are further along in their career, one of the biggest mistakes that they say that they have made in the past or they have witnessed in other people is the feeling of trying to have everything sorted out, trying to feel like they needed to be perfect before they acted when they could have just acted and then course corrected throughout that process. And I think this has been one of the most helpful pieces of advice for me, because there's many times where I want to do a lot more research, or I don't necessarily feel perfect before starting. And I want to get to that place, but that place is an illusion most of the time. And being able to just get started and learn along the way has been incredibly helpful. So again, brief little episode for you all today, but hopefully this was helpful. And again, your 20s can be exciting, but also challenging and uncertain, and you do not have to navigate it alone. If you're looking for more accountability, support, and a community focused on career growth, relationships, and personal development, you can check out the 20s Mentorship Roadmap free school community in my bio, and it's also listed in the description below. But thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.